Most of the Disney theme parks around the world use the same model or design or layout or however you want to look at it, and that is the hub and spoke model. Now, this means that there's generally speaking a central hub that usually features a castle, and then from that hub there are spokes leading out to different themed attraction areas where different things happen. And this model is incredibly useful to us in marketing our businesses. And that's what we are fixing to talk about. So, hi, I am John Delancey, the head Disney nut and marketing aficionado here at Marketing the Magic. Marketing the Magic is a small community for, or rather a community for small business owners who want to have a better grasp on their marketing strategy and tactics. And we do this through lessons inspired by the Walt Disney Company, including the theme parks and the movies and the marketing campaigns and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So, today, like I said, we're going to be talking about this hub and spoke marketing model. And so let's dive right into that. Walt and his teams designed Disneyland very explicitly to follow this model. So there was the central hub with the castle, that visual weenie idea, if you remember commandment number 4 of Mickey's 10 Commandments, which we discussed way back in episode 2. That was 7 weeks ago. So go check that out if you haven't, because Mickey's 10 Commandments is a fantastic structure for marketing. But they use that visual weenie, that castle, to anchor guests wherever they are in the park, and that's located in the hub. And then from the hub, there are spokes leading out to different attraction areas like Tomorrowland and Fantasyland and Frontierland, and these different areas that are very highly themed with their own sort of centers of activity that people can take part in. And this same idea was applied through almost all of the Disney parks around the world. So at the Animal Kingdom, instead of being a castle in the hub, there is the Tree of Life, and an area that's kind of surrounds that. You can walk around that. That's the hub of Animal Kingdom. And then there are different spokes leading out to different the different areas at Animal Kingdom. So Asia and Africa and Dinosaur Land and so on. Pandora. Pandora is opening in a month, and that's the new land that there will be a spoke to, and I am so excited about that. But, okay, so Animal Kingdom, then Disneyland Paris, Shanghai Disneyland, Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, to a lesser extent, Epcot, and to varying degrees, the other parks as well. But by far, most of the Disney theme parks around the world follow this model because it's a great model. Now, let's talk about how to use this hub and spoke model in our marketing. Now, the first thing to point out is that it is not in itself a strategy. It is not really a marketing strategy. Rather, it is a way that we can model the marketing strategy that we are using. Starting with that, let's move into the first component of it, which is going to be your website, the hub of your hub and spokes. So yes, the website in almost every case is going to be your hub. Now, this might change as technology and the internet and how people use both of those things changes over the coming years and decades and so on, but that's down the road, and I feel very confident stating that for the foreseeable future anyway, your website is going to remain the hub of your online marketing activity. So this is the place that we want to bring people back to. And that's actually one difference between our hub and spoke model and the Disney hub and spoke model, and that is that our hubs are going to be much larger centers of activity in themselves rather than just sending people out to all these other places. They will still do that. But the ultimate goal is generally going to be to get people back to our hubs. So, especially if we are using a content or an inbound marketing strategy, this point is even more important. And so the reason for this is that the the hub, our website, is kind of the foundation, the central location for a number of things, and that includes our main branding, our main identity definition is going to be on our website. It's going to have the information on our products and services that we're selling to our customers. This is where we facilitate communication. So whether that's through providing our phone numbers or email addresses or contact forms, or even including whole funnels, these landing pages that lead people to provide their information and begin providing contact information to us, make that contact with us in exchange for your content offers. So your ebooks, your white papers, case studies, and so on. And that's the other thing. Most of our content is going to live on our website. So our blog, our videos are going to be put on our website, even if they are also on YouTube and so forth. Those ebooks, those white papers, those case studies, testimonials, all of the information that we want to centralize is going to be centralized on our website. The website is where we primarily convert people. So this is where we convert people from strangers, from visitors, into leads or into sales. Now that's a very important job. That's probably the most important job of any aspect of our marketing. So keep that in mind. But the website, our hub, is absolutely useless without traffic. In and of itself, our website is going to be absolutely useless, because a website without any spokes, a hub without any spokes, can do nothing. It just sits there. So let's talk about spokes. Now, spokes in our hub and spoke model are the channels that guide people between our website and the other places that they spend time or look for information, online or offline. So we can include offline marketing sources in our hub and spoke model. So if you still do direct mail in some fashion, or if you do a lot of networking at seminars as a source of marketing, or speaking at seminars as a source of marketing, these offline methods can be incorporated into this hub and spoke model of our overall marketing strategy. Now, for my purposes, generally speaking, I tend to divide my spokes into and more importantly, the areas that the spokes lead to, into centrally themed marketing activity areas. So I'll have a spoke that leads to the social media area, social media marketing area. I'll have a spoke that leads to search marketing or search engine marketing, a spoke that leads to email marketing, a spoke for referral marketing, a spoke for offline marketing, and so on. Now, your company's marketing strategy may not look the same, so your hub and spokes model won't look the same either. The biggest point to make here, though, is that these spokes lead to areas, whole different areas of activity. So Facebook, for instance, social media, for instance, if we go down the social media spoke, it's going to lead to an area that contains both organic social media efforts, which I like to think of as the Dumbo flying circus attraction. Yeah, because it's kind of slow and steady and everyone can take part. And then it's going to also include the paid social media areas, so advertising on social media. And I like to think of this one as Big Thunder Mountain. So very fast-paced and energetic. It's not going to be for everyone or for every campaign, but when it can be employed, it's awesome. And then we can also look at paid and organic and divide social media into the different networks that we take part on. So Facebook versus Twitter versus Instagram versus Snapchat, and all these different social channels that we might take part in, each of which might have its own paid and organic sides. So those all make up the main area of social activity at the end of the social media spoke. Then the same thing applies in search engine marketing. So we're going to have SEO that we focus on to improve organic or free traffic back to our website. And then we have the paid search, so Google AdWords side. Those are two distinct disciplines, two distinct marketing channels and things that we need to focus on, but they're both a part of the search engine marketing area or spoke, and so forth. Now, the important thing to remember here is that each of these areas that we include in our marketing strategy and on our hub and spokes model is going to require its own attention, its own effort in order to make those different spokes, those different marketing activities beneficial. Just because we set up a Facebook page doesn't mean it's going to do anything for us. See, so if we set up a Facebook page and then we never look at it again, or we just funnel random, all the same posts and topics to every one of those social channels and places that we take part, they're not doing us any good. We're not making use of those spokes. So the more spokes we have, the more effort we have to expend to make the maximum use of them. And now the other component to think of is connecting the spokes to each other, not necessarily through the hub or our website. So if we think again of the Disney theme parks, or Disneyland in particular, and the Magic Kingdom at Disney World, the parks are encircled, for the most part, by the Disneyland Railway. So you can get on a train and ride directly around the outside of the park without going through the hub. And likewise, in our marketing, we are going to see that at least some areas can connect directly to each other. So without going necessarily through the hub as that central point. So here's an example of this is we might, in our email marketing, in an email newsletter, we might include links back to our Facebook groups that we've created, or to our Facebook page, or to our Facebook Live events, or to our Twitter account, or to the LinkedIn groups that we've created. So we're connecting email to social without first going through that hub. So keep those in mind, because every one of those connections that we want to make, we also need to pay attention to in order to maximize on the effort that we're expending. So let's wrap this thing up, because I've rambled on and spent enough of your time trying to get technology to work like it was supposed to. And again, nope, I'm not apologizing again. I told you I wasn't going to apologize again. So, not apologizing again. But it happened. Let's move on. So let's wrap this thing up. So again, keep in mind that this idea of hubs and spokes, or this hub and spoke model, is just that. It is a model, not a strategy in itself. You still have to develop your marketing strategy, and which of those different spokes that I've listed and which others that I may not have talked about you're going to include in your strategy. And then we can use this hub and spoke model to visualize that strategy. So we make these big plans and this big strategy, and we're going to have campaigns over here, and we're going to have tweets over there, and we're going to have videos over here, and we're going to have all this different stuff going on, and it becomes very abstract, very hard to keep all of this in our heads. So this hub and spoke model, this hub and spoke marketing model, is what we can use to kind of connect the dots, to give us that visualization, to help us keep all of these different pieces in mind and help us visualize when we might be having trouble, when we might be leaving out or not paying enough attention to one of those other spokes. So take this concept and make it your own. Take your marketing strategy and build your own hub and spoke model. Maybe your website isn't your hub. Maybe you consider your storefront to be your hub, and your website is a spoke that helps support that, and Facebook is a spoke that helps support that. And you don't take part on Twitter, and you don't pay for advertising, and you don't do organic or search engine optimization or email marketing, or I don't know. I don't know what your strategy is going to look like. I hope it's not that barren. But take this idea and create your own hub and spoke model. And that's going to be what you can use to visualize your strategy and make sure that you are making the best use of whatever marketing channels you are employing in your business. And that is going to wrap things up for this week. I'm sorry I couldn't incorporate the visuals that I intended to. If you take a look at the blog post that will be going up here in a little bit with the cobbled together version of this video, you will be able to see those graphics that I intended to use, and hopefully they'll help you to visualize these things a little better if I wasn't able to describe it sufficiently. So I hope you guys have a great week. Go out and make the life that you want to live, and I will see you real soon. Thank you.